Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Let's Talk NBA with Rick Manarino. We got an exciting show today. Is NBA heating up or what? I mean, these games right now with 6 games to play and everybody vying for playoff position because, as you know, it's going to be real important. But we know one thing for sure. The Lakers are in the 11th spot, and the 11th spot does not make the NBA playoffs. If you're in the 7, 8, 9, 10, you're going to have to play in a play-in game. The top 6 are the guys that get the benefit of having to play a little better. But, man, I'm watching that Phoenix Sun Golden State game last night. I just couldn't believe the intensity. Draymond and Jay Crowder going at it. Draymond Green and Crowder going at it. And after the game, face-to-face, nose-to-nose, and I'm like, Green telling him, oh, we're going to win it this year. And I'm thinking, Green, if Golden State wins it, it's going to be a surprise to me because even if you get Mr. Curry back, you guys, they lack continuity. Ever since Clay came back, there's something not right with that team. Now, will Steve Kerr get them ready for the playoffs? He's a great coach. He's a genius. He knows that team. Something to me, since the All-Star break about Golden State, it's just not right. And I don't know what it is. And I think all of you believe that watch NBA and love NBA, that it's a lot about continuity. It's a lot about the flow. It's a lot about the energy. It's all about the chi. It's all about what's going on energy-wise on a ball club. I want to take a brief moment here to recognize, there's a lot of NBA fans that watch this show and a lot of NBA fans around town and around all over the country, and a lot of them here in Vegas. But I wanted to acknowledge a couple of friends of mine that are great, big-time Denver Nugget fans. They love their Nuggets. The Nuggets, despite having people out all year, Murray hurt all year, Porter Jr. hurt all year, which are 2 starters. Denver continues to win. Jokic continues to do well. But I want to acknowledge my friend and his family, Mr. Jeff Leopold. Jeff, how are you? I know you're a big fan out there, and we're always talking Denver basketball. And, man, what a hard-working team. I just love the energy on that team. And, of course, Michael Malone's a good coach. Don't call him Mike. He doesn't want to be called Mike. Michael Malone. But Mr. Jeff Leopold, and he's got a son, Ryan. This kid is a big-time high school basketball player out there in Denver. This boy is well on his way to going to one of the top colleges. He just finished his junior year. I think they finished up losing in maybe the semifinals or the quarterfinals out there, the state tournament. But Jeff's son, Ryan, is going to have a big senior year. And good luck to you, Ryan. I know, train hard in the offseason, shoot those threes, work on that dribbling, do a lot of those Steph Curry drills. But Jeff and his family, the Leopolds, awesome fans, and I just want to acknowledge you guys. And thanks for watching my show all the time, by the way. A lot of people do that. I want to get into, what I think is going on in the NBA. As we know, they're vying for a position. And the funny thing in talking about Golden State, now they've dropped down to the number 4 spot. All of a sudden, Dallas has moved into 3. Have all of you noticed who watch NBA? I know you watch it as keenly as I do. What has been the difference in Dallas? And why are they won, 10 out of 11 games now? Why do they continue to win? Of course, we know Luka Doncic is, of course, the difference maker on a team. But who has come in and turned that energy a little bit, picked it up a little bit, put a little more pressure on that team? I know you know the answer. What is it? Spencer Dinwiddie. What a pickup, man. That guy was floundering. What was he? I was always surprised when Brooklyn got rid of him. And then I believe he's been in Washington, and he went. He's gone over to Dallas in that trade. Getting rid of Porzingis, and Porzingis went to Washington. He's doing good over there, and Washington will get better. Porzingis is a good player, but he's fragile. But Spencer Dinwiddie, watch that kid play. He's been the difference maker in Dallas, and it takes some of the pressure off of Luka. So Dallas moves up to the 3. Phoenix, of course, 62 wins. Last night against Golden State, a Golden State team that was very motivated. Phoenix goes in there and wins that game. I mean, man, this Phoenix team is good. 62 wins. They'll probably, they got 6 games left. They'll win at least 4 of those. So they're maybe all of them. Phoenix is going to win at least 66 games this year. I think they're going to be tough to beat. Chris Paul is back. That team has got everybody healthy now. To me, Phoenix is the champion, and they are the best team in the league by far. I don't care who they play. On the other side of the coin, Miami is the number 1 seed. They continue to hold off Boston. Miami beats Boston last night. great win for Miami. I really thought that Boston was going to step up and beat them and get a little closer to the 1 spot. You got to understand that in that race that's going on, another 6 games left in the East, you got Miami on top, you got Philadelphia, you got Milwaukee, and you got Boston, who all could get the number 1 spot. As we know, the 1 and 2 spots don't have to play in the first round, so they get an advantage. They get 2 home. I should say is they get 2 home. The first 2 rounds are home court advantage for 1 and 2. Home court advantage is huge in the NBA, so they're going to get that advantage. So 1 and 2 are really, really good spots. I keep thinking that Miami, they had a 4-game losing streak, and they had a big brawl. I don't know if you all saw the brawl on the bench where Eric Spoelstra went ballistic, threw his clipboard down, got right up in Jimmy Butler's face. All the other players got in Jimmy Butler's face. I don't know what was going on. I don't know what went on in Miami. They lost 4 in a row. They were uptight. It got very, very, very aggressive on the bench right in front of the world. I know you all saw it that are NBA fans. The thing about that is Spoelstra said sometimes, you get out of your habits. You put your feet against the fire, and the fire feels a little too warm sometimes, but we had to get together as a team and have some meetings and get our culture right. And I'm saying, wow, and Spoelstra didn't even show up for one of the games, said he was gone for personal reasons. Well, I think he just needed also to get away from those players. And, if Jimmy Butler's right, that team is going to be tough. You look at Miami, they really, really, with Hero in there, and they just look like a good ball club. Of course, Adebayo's a fine player. So Miami's got a great team. It will not surprise me, excuse me, if the Eastern Conference Championship is Milwaukee versus Miami, and I can't say who's going to win it. Will Miami repeat from the East? I don't know. I was very, very impressed by Miami last night. I thought that they had real problems there and they were left for dead. But Boston, who's been playing, I think Boston has the best record since the All-Star break. It's pretty close. Them or Memphis have the best record. And, that East it's loaded. I don't think Brooklyn can get there. I don't care if Ben Simmons gets healthy and plays. Ben Simmons is going to be a non-factor for that team the rest of the year. You're going to have to count on what you got there. And the same thing in Philadelphia. Is Harden going to be enough of a difference? I don't know. Embiid and Harden, and of course Tobias Harris, and in the I just keep waiting for Philadelphia to make that move. I hesitate. That's why I hesitate. Philadelphia, I just keep thinking they're going to take that number 1 spot, be the number 1 seed, and win it. But something about Philadelphia, again, they just don't get over the hump. Something about Golden State this year, I just don't see it. So, I'd like to have all of your opinions. Right now, I'm running this show by myself and having a lot of fun with it. I like doing my own thing because the knowledge is there, the ability to talk NBA is there. But I would really like to have another co-host. And again, anybody interested in being my co-host, let me know. I'm out here in Vegas. We can do a show remotely or Zoom or whatever you want to call it, Facebook. We can do shows that way, but I love doing this. I mean, I could talk for hours about the NBA. Let's talk about the West a little bit. Phoenix is really strongly embedded there and going to be tough to beat. But let me ask you this question. Does Memphis have enough to compete for the title this year? And the Memphis thing is really interesting. John Morant has missed 21 games, one of the best players in the NBA. At one point this year, he was in the NBA race for MVP. Now, he's been hurt and he's dropped off of that. Is that team capable? Without him, they're 19-2, which is weird to me. Why is Memphis 19-2 without John Morant? I can't figure it out. I mean, he's that good. Is he hold on to the ball too much? Are players becoming disinterested when he's in there? I would like to get some kind of response from you all. I'm wondering why they, with an all-star like John Morant, when he's not playing, they're 19-2, and the record is not nearly as good when he's playing. So I kind of think that guys check out because he's hanging on to the ball too much. So we'll see. Memphis is capable. Very, very well coached. Very well coached. They're capable. How about Dallas? With that addition of Dinwiddie and Luka and the way some of these guys are playing, Dallas looks good. Dallas looks really good. Can Dallas do it? Does Utah have enough? I mean, there's so many questions. Denver, again, I just talked about my friends, the Leopolds. Denver, without Murray and without Porter Jr., they don't really have a chance to win it. I mean, again, I think Jokic is going to be the MVP again, by the way. I think that Embiid has kind of gone down a little bit, and he lost a little bit, excuse me, he lost a little bit of his steam when Milwaukee beat him. And, it's interesting in that big game, which was like a playoff game this past week, you got, Embiid getting his shot blocked at the end of the game with a chance to tie or win, getting his shot blocked by Giannis. Very interesting. That was a very interesting moment. But I just can't see, some of these Western teams getting there. Denver's good. Utah's good. I mean, really good. Phoenix is great. Memphis is good. Dallas is good. Minnesota is okay. They're not going to be there. They don't have enough. Then down near the bottom, I mean, you got New Orleans fighting in there. You got San Antonio. You got the Lakers. How about the Lakers? Let me give you a quick opinion on the Lakers. And then I'd like to, again, hear what you got to say about it. The Lakers are pretty much left for dead. I don't care if they get in the 10th spot or the 9th spot in the last 6 games and get a play-in game. So what does it matter? You get a play-in game, you win the play-in game, and then you got to play a bunch of rounds, and you got to come a long way from being a play-in team, especially out of the 10-hole. I don't believe they'll get higher than the 10-hole. And that's the last playoff spot. So why don't the Lakers shut LeBron down, shut Anthony Davis down? I mean, Anthony Davis still trying to come back with 5-6 games. It makes no sense to me. After tonight, there's only 5 games left, and the Lakers play Utah tonight, which we'll see what happens. I'm never going to say anybody's going to lose for sure in the NBA, but the Lakers are going to have a tough time because Utah's an upset ball club. Again, I don't know if you saw the Clippers with Paul George. Now, there's an interesting thing. I was talking to somebody the other day, and it was Paul George's first game back, and I said, well, George is back. He'll probably go off for 30. So I was told by, another NBA fan, oh, there's no way he's going to have 10 points. He's not ready to go, da-da-da-da. Anyways, Paul George scored 34, had 7 rebounds, 5 steals. The Clippers end up coming back from, 25 down? And beating Utah. That scares me about Utah. The Clippers, with Paul George in there, it's going to be a different game. Can Paul stay healthy? The Clippers can make some noise in the playoffs. They got some good ball players on that team. Morris, Zubats. Terrence Mann is just a really, really good ball player. That's a good ball club. With George in there, they got presence in the middle. They got a good backup center. That's a good ball club. Kennard shooting that 3, the lefty from Duke. When he's on, the Clippers are tough. When Morris is on, he hits the 3s. So the Clippers have every right to go ahead and win a couple of rounds, I'm telling you. So that West is just like, other than Phoenix. Phoenix is a dominant team. And they're all going to vie for who's going to play Phoenix in the West. It's all going to be, and again, it comes down to injuries. Who's going to get hurt here at the end? Like Chris Paul has come back for Phoenix. That's a new resurgence for them. So they're playing well. Chris Paul in a close game against Golden State last night took that game over. I think he had 15 points on the game, and he scored 8 in the fourth quarter. And 1 down the stretch when it really counted to put him up by 3. So Phoenix is tough, and they're on a mission. Booker's playing great. Booker's put himself firmly in the MVP race. Again, I believe Jokic is going to win it. Again, I think Embiid has fallen back. I don't think Booker has enough. I don't think Morant has enough. I just think that Jokic is going to be the MVP. But we'll see what happens. No matter what happens to Denver, I think he's going to be right there. But Phoenix is very strong. And to get that home court advantage throughout the playoffs, it's going to be tough to beat Phoenix, any of those teams. And there's one of the great things about the NBA this year is the improvement of ball clubs, particularly in the West. The Minnesotas, the Memphises, the Dallases, New Orleans, they have really improved. Those are improved ball clubs. San Antonio, though they don't have the great records, those teams have all improved from last year. So I think the NBA in the West it's a lot of fun. There's going to be some exciting games. Again, on the Eastern side, it's wide open. I can't tell you which of those 4 teams it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be anybody below them. It's either going to be in the championship of the East. You're either going to have Miami, Milwaukee, Philadelphia, or Boston. I don't even count Atlanta, though they made it to the conference championship last year. I don't even count Atlanta, and I don't even qualify Brooklyn. First of all, they're very poorly coached. What his name should have just retired and left. And I just don't think that they're well coached in Brooklyn. Durant, of course, is a beast. Kyrie, I shake my head when I watch that kid play. He is so good. I've seen a couple games this week. Man, he's a magician with that ball, and he shoots left-handed, right-handed. But Kyrie Irving is just a fine, fine player. And then Durant is a fine, fine player. But who do they have after that? Simmons is going to be a non-factor. Who does Brooklyn have? New York, they were a disappointment this year. A big disappointment. Atlanta's been a disappointment. They haven't been the team. But it'll be one of those 4. And really, I mean, if I had to pick one, I'll say Phoenix is going to be in the finals from the West. But they're going to get tested because the West has really improved. And I will say that something keeps telling me Miami is going to be the team this year. They had their little spat. They had their little, get mad at each other. Let's get back on the same page. They have enough players. One of the big points, one of the big keys in Miami that you have to really look out for, and this is going to be the difference maker. It's Duncan Robinson. All of you that watch basketball and NBA as much as I do, Duncan Robinson is a pure three-point shooter. Doesn't play much defense. Blocks a shot once in a while. As a matter of fact, they were making fun of him on the air the other night about anybody that gets their shot blocked by Duncan Robinson should be fined. And they said, well, he's got 5 blocks this year. Anyways, it was Van Gundy, making fun of him. Not the better announcer. The brother is a better announcer. The one was Stan Van Gundy is a much better announcer than Jeff Van Gundy. Believe it. I mean, this guy makes the big bucks. Stan doesn't make nearly as much being a commentator as his brother does, Jeff. Jeff is average on a good day. That guy is poor in my opinion. But Stan Van Gundy, sharp dude. He knows what he's talking about. When you watch a game, listen to him. The other guy that's good analysis is Jimmy Jackson. Jimmy Jackson. I think Stan Van Gundy and Jimmy Jackson are the 2 best analysts in the NBA. A lot of people would say Reggie Miller, Richard Jefferson. I don't think so. I really like Jimmy Jackson and Stan Van Gundy. Anyways, we're going to have a lot of fun the next couple of weeks. I'll have a playoff show coming up. Well, everything will be clear who's going to be in what position by the time I do my show next week. We'll be getting ready for the playoffs. I believe the playoffs start on the 15th. Am I right? You all know. I'm excited. NBA playoffs, man, I got to tell you, those first couple rounds, there's basketball on. Woo, so many games every night. And I sit there and I watch them every night because one thing about NBA, and then like NFL, NBA, we're playing every night. Somebody's playing every night in the NBA, in the playoffs. So let's do it. Let's have fun. You tell me who you think's going to be in that playoffs. You tell me who you think's going to be MVP in the league. You tell me what I don't know, what I'm not telling you, what I'm missing. And again, I'm looking for a great co-host. So let's continue to have fun with NBA. I'll be back on again next week. We'll talk playoffs, and then we'll talk some more playoffs, and then we'll talk some more playoffs all the way to the finals. And by that time, it'll be all done, and we'll be doing Let's Talk NFL again. Woo! But I love NBA. God bless. Have a great week. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the show. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all you fans around the league. And again, my good friends out in Denver, Jeff Leopold and his family, thanks for watching. Thanks for telling all your friends all around the Denver area about this great show. And go Denver. I'm an ultimate Denver fan because of you all. Jokic, love that guy. Nobody is better or more talented than him in the league. For a big man, that guy is the best. God bless you. Have fun. Have a great weekend. Talk soon.